The Columbia River Gorge is world-renowned for its wedding venues. You've just got such beautiful scenery out here. And Gorge Crest Vineyards has arguably the best view of Mount Hood that I've seen at any venue in this part of the state. We're surrounded on three sides by forests, we've got orchards, vineyards, and just incredible views. Let's explore this place together. When you get married at Gorge Crest Vineyards, the whole wedding is going to be centered on this event area down by the barn. They've got this beautiful event lawn that's surrounded on both sides by trees. You've got a patio for dancing, a barn that's great for receptions, and then out here you can get married with views of Mount Hood in the background. To me, a huge selling point of the event space is the fact that it's covered on either side by trees. That might not seem like a big deal until you realize that the Columbia River Gorge is one of the windiest places in the Pacific Northwest. On this lawn, you have this nice, serene environment where there's not a ton of wind blowing in your face, and your guests are going to enjoy it too. When you get married, your ceremony can happen right here with views of Hood in the background and a row of chairs and an aisle up the center. When it's time to start turning up the party, they've got this beautiful dance floor adjacent to the ceremony lawn. And the setup is super ideal. They've got string lights across the top. There's a built-in sound system so that your DJ can just plug right in to start playing music. And you've got views of the gorge and Mount Hood in the background. It's super epic. Once your ceremony is concluded, you and your guests can make your way up the steps to a cocktail hour at the barn. They've got this beautiful covered patio that's got heaters installed, which is a huge perk. And at the bar behind me, you can serve wine that was actually grown here on property. Gorge Crest Vineyards makes all of their own wine, and it's such a cool detail to include on your wedding day. Depending on weather, you've got a couple of options for reception. A lot of people will hold their dinner and dancing out on the lawn, but you can also move it inside the barn where you have this nice covered area. There's a fireplace, there's actually a couple of luxurious bathrooms, a catering kitchen, and plenty of space for you to set up a dance floor, a head table, and for all of your guests to be. Now, bathrooms might not be high on your to-do list when you're thinking about planning your wedding, but you're gonna have a ton of guests moving through, eating and drinking, and it's really nice to actually have some plumbed facilities. At a lot of venues, you end up with a trailer or an outhouse. These guys also have a catering kitchen that we'll check out next. Catering kitchen comes with a refrigerator, you've got plenty of counter space for prep work, and then a lot of vendors will do their grilling and cooking outdoors. On the second story above the barn, we have the Mount Hood suite, and this is a super ideal ready room. There's a kitchenette, a bathroom, and over 1,200 square feet of space for you and your wedding party to set up. You could do hair and makeup. They've got some mirrors and tons of beautiful views out the window. We've seen the barn and the event lawn and the dance floor, but we're on over 20 acres of event property here, and there's all kinds of stuff to explore on the grounds. Let's check out the pergola and the woods next. They've got these forested paths with cafe lighting between all of the trees, and then they've even put hammocks up so that you and your guests have kind of a fun place to hang out and chill. Now, down at the base of the forest, the paths actually open up to this beautiful view of vineyards, and you've got this pergola that's covered in wisteria. It's so pretty. This is a really cool spot for guests to wander down, sip a cocktail with views of the sunset, or if you wanted to have a more intimate micro wedding, you could have up to 50 people with a dinner or a little ceremony down here. It's a really pretty spot. There's tons of walking paths for you and your guests to enjoy. There's actually a horseshoe pit behind me. They've got wildflowers planted all over the property. And then as you wander down the path, there are vineyards, there's lavender, there's a pear orchard, all kinds of possibilities for a photo session at sunset. Gorge Crest Vineyards has some of the most epic views across the entire Columbia River Gorge. If you're thinking about getting married out here, then we'll make sure to link all of the info you need in the description of this video. While you're at it, check out A Beautiful Union. We're a photo video studio and we do weddings and elopements across the Pacific Northwest. We would love to shoot your wedding here. I'll see you in the next one.